alive. Yes. Another day. Another week. Yeah, look at that view out here. Like I said, my favorite time of year. All these beautiful colors. Scenery. Very dry though. Very unseasonably warm and dry for a Minnesota fall this year. So I think that's going to be coming to a stop here soon. At least the heat anyway, but we'll see. I'll be going to watch the Vikings here a little bit. Play the Detroit Lions. And hopefully we'll be 6-0 after today. So, that being said, I'd like to discuss some political dynamics, of what I see going on, what I've observed. Now, here's the thing, and this is from my own research and studies and whatnot. There's been an underlying sentiment or climate, whatever, the political, cultural, and overall climate has been gynocentric and become more so gynocentric since the 1960s. And this has affected every aspect of culture, every culture, every ethnic group, every everything has been affected by this. Now, it would stand to reason, and this goes obviously off, this basic economics here, that the groups that are going to be the most adversely affected are, of course, the ones that are at the greatest economic disadvantage, which in these cases are the blacks, the Hispanics, the American Indians. They're going to be the groups that are most adversely affected by gynocentrism, the rise of it. And, of course, with Roe versus Wade, civil rights, and all these movements that have come about through all this, no-fault divorce, the of course, the prison system and how much it has grown through male incarcerations. I haven't done a real in-depth study, but it's big. It's big. So every group has been affected here. And like I said, of course, the people with no money and no resources are the most affected. What I'm trying to say, though, is, going with the right and the left here, going after the right here with saying, or actually, I'll start with the left. They're always talking about trickle-down economics and that, and I guess that would be the case here, but going against that, the trickle-down effect, I guess, the whites, especially the underprivileged whites, are of course they're around the same level, or maybe even a little better than the ones living in the slums and the ghettos of the inner city, whatnot. But not much. I mean, if you want to compare, like, 10,000 a year or something, maybe being able to purchase a public defender or some kind of mini something of that level, but not enough to really brag about. So, and then going after the right, they they talk about people pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. You got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Well, here's the thing: when you have no bootstraps, in this case, you have no foundation. What are you going to pull yourself up by? That's very ludicrous. So, that's why. Well, and to me, Trump has been the closest thing, really, to being almost an anarchist as a politician since, well, that we've ever had, especially since anything in the 80s. And no, more so than Reagan. Reagan was actually kind of a little bit of a reactionary and a little bit of an anarchist, but not that much. He had a few things that he did, but a lot of it he was an establishment person. But I'm pretty close to an anarchist, especially economically, fiscally. I've had a lot of discussions, especially on Facebook and even YouTube, with varying groups of people. And I've gotten a rise out of the right as well as the left, because I see them, even they're kowtowing to the police, to that abomination of that we know as the Nation of Israel, current abomination, UN abomination. The cuck-servatives, as I like to call them, the cuck-servatives. They annoy me almost as much as the leftoids do. And the ones that are racialists and stuff, I just don't have time for them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in 2 weeks. 2 weeks we have to wait. Here's something, though, in the meantime. I don't defend violence. I'm a Christian, by the way. I made that well known. But I don't defend violence, needless violence against people, especially if they're not. I think violence can be necessary if you're protecting yourself or your family. Self-defense, rather. But, and I don't promote needless violence, but here's the thing. Those instruments of destruction, and the left, like Antifa, the far left groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter, boy, they like burning down certain things, police stations, businesses, torching those places. Never saw them ever go near a Planned Parenthood. Never. They would never go near one of those places. Kind of made you think and wonder what that was all about. Well, I already know what it's all about, so anyway, my whole thing is this, I'm not going to do it myself, but I do support, if somebody were to torch a Planned Parenthood with nobody in it, a couple of those going down, that would send some shockwaves through people. That would really be an interesting thing to see. So, just that's just something, some food for thought. That I think you guys should kind of think about. Like I said, I'm not doing it myself. But it'd be just interesting to see what would happen if that were to happen. A couple of those places get torched. Well, we already see how quickly YouTube and Google will put anything of that as a radicalism, terrorism, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. You never see one word about Minneapolis, which had millions of dollars of damage done, people dead, not a peep, not nothing, or hardly anything. You have to dig to find anything on that. You really do. So, and then the school systems. Anyway, there's just a little food for thought, I guess, on a Sunday, right before I watch the Vikings hopefully win. Yeah, that's all I have. Catch you later.